Mr. Hui, Regional Sales Manager, Southeast Asia Fermentis.
This one's okay. This one's okay. Thank you so much for the nice introduction. Good morning, Bangalore. So, welcome to Fermentis Talk. Today we will have a small talk about the new all-in-one range by Fermentis, where the product we blend between yeast and enzyme, and where we can create a new type of products that can help brewers around the world to create very good, very good and interesting new type, new beer. So let's understand how this product works and also how we can help you as a brewer. So all-in-one is the products that we will use for occasions when a single microorganism or a yeast cannot provide what we really want. So we want something more, and not just the yeast can provide, this product can help. So we will blend enzyme together with yeast so that both can working together and achieve a higher sugar attenuation, fermentation degree, and for that we have stronger and drier beer, more interesting and even more fruity. The type depends on the type of the product we are using. Start with the normal word that everybody at the brewers can create in the brew house. So if we run a normal masking scheme, we would have this sugar profile. So basically, we will have glucose about 10 to 15%, and we have maltodextrose about also 10 to 20%. Besides that, we have maltose, much higher percentage, which is 50 to 60%, where all of this, we call it fermentable sugar. The yeast can only consume these fermentable sugars so that it can create alcohol. Besides that, we have dextrin over there, occupied about 15 to 20% also, but the yeast cannot consume it. If we want to have higher alcohol with the same word and even more fruity, more all the character, and the yeast just can consume the fermentable sugar here and stop fermentation. How can we do? So we want more. We want more alcohol. How can we do? So this is the concept. Thanks to our know-how, we make the yeast dry and put together with the glucose amylase, which is the enzyme. And we know how to put it together friendly, and also how to get the best beer out of this product range. So basically, the AMG, which is the glucoamylase, it hydrolyzed 1,4 and 1,6 linkages in amylose and amylopectin to release glucose. So basically, the enzyme will help to create more fermentable sugar in the same word we have, and by that we can have higher alcohol, higher fermentation degree, and better profile. The yeast can even create better fruity, adding more all the characteristics by just ferment further. These are the products in the range. We call it all-in-one, which is the enzyme and the yeast together. XA18, Sapru XA18, Sapru DA16, and Sapru LD20. For myself, I usually call it 16, 18, and 20. It's easier to remember. So let's go more detail inside. The Sapru XA18 is the one we designed for obvious choice for very high gravity beer that usually the yeast cannot eat a lot of sugar and cannot resistant to very high osmotic pressure, which is we have high gravity. The key learning from these products that we have a Saccharomyces cerevisiae together with the enzyme, we can even achieve 16% of the ABV, which is alcohol, and we can from the 30 plateau. And the ADF we can reach from 98 even to 103, 102%. The fermentation temperature for this yeast is preferred 25 degrees Celsius, and with high gravity beer, but very high drinkability. And this yeast can produce the phenolic character, and is a bit not flocculent, and we recommend also not reusable and not for re-fermentation. We have many customers using this yeast to ferment that high alcohol percentage, but dilute it back to a certain percent, like under 8%. It can help and still create very interesting profile. Some customers also using this yeast for producing beer and aging in the barrels, making very specific type, very expensive, high premium brand of the beer. Another one is Sapru LD20. We designed for very low carb dry beer, lager beer. So usually the lager, we can ferment and make something like 68 to 70% of the RDF, a real degree fermentation. And the lager just stop there. If we want to have better lager, higher drinkability, a bit more alcohol, even higher, like 25% higher alcohol, we can use this yeast to create very interesting lager. So basically, it's the lager yeast, Bartolianus, together with the amylo glucomylase. It ferments the wort density even up to 20 plateau of the wort. And as a lager, it's prefer a bit lower temperature, but it can work from 12 degrees Celsius up to 20. And the lager is not produce phenolic for sure, and it's very neutral, very dry beer, because we do not left over any residue sugar. Good flocculant, not reusable, and not for re-fermentation, for porto and cake also. Basically, we have the table here for describe better comparison between the three, LD20, XA18, and 16. So we can have over there the buff description. So LD20 is the lager, does not produce phenolic character. It can create very highly attenuated or high degree fermentation of a lager beer, and can create session beer styles also. For the XA18, we talk about that. It is Saccharomyces together with the enzyme, and it can produce phenolic character, very suitable for farmhouse beer styles and barley wine styles. The third one, the Sapru DA16, also Saccharomyces together with the enzyme. It does not produce the phenolic aroma, but very great for fruity and aromatic beer styles. So very fruity ones. And we are going to have an event coming up for that DA16. Looking forward to have that event coming soon, and we can have more detail for that discussion in a new event. For your information, we have here the product range of Fermentis. We have lager, 3 types. Very famous one, Self Ale, we have many different types, and Here you can see the WBO6 over there, very famous for the wheat beer, Belgian wheat beer. And I believe it's very famous in India too. People love it. The sub-LF2 for fermentation in the bottle. And all the sub-L in all-in-one we just talked about, like XA18, DA16, and LD20. And the LA01, just for you know, we can produce low alcohol beer under 0.5%, and it's perfect beer for very low alcohol and still keeping the fermentation characteristic, not like the alcoholization method. Over there we have Batteria that can produce sour beer, very interesting, new trend coming too. And we have a Spring Plunge, the product that can help to create a hazy IBA, which is kind of a protein together with the polyphenol in the beer, create very interesting haze, and we can create the hazy IBA, not like the hazy yeast as a normal, but look like exactly the same, better stable beer, very interesting. And the final one, fermentation aid for nutrients for the yeast. That for hard condition fermentation, the yeast needs certain nutrients like the BR2 can help and can help the yeast to overcome the stress from fermentation, hard condition. And we also have a Fermentis Academy, just for you know. It's a tool that we launch in order to share and learn and also exchange knowledge between the brewer, especially about the yeast and fermentation. A bit hard for the last 2 years because the pandemic, but looking forward now we will have much more events from this academy so that we can meet you more often and we can exchange, learn knowledge and sharing knowledge together. So that's all for today, and welcome for question.